Exodus tells a beautiful story. It tells a story of God hearing the cries of his people and responding, moving in. Using a man named Moses to bring them out of bondage and slavery and brokenness, to move them from a people of despair to a people of hope. A people who were nothing to becoming the people of God. In the middle of Exodus, you find Israel gathered. They've been delivered from Egypt. They're becoming the people of God, and God is beginning to move in and teach them his ways. And in Exodus chapter 33, you find Moses, their leader, setting up a tent. He'd set a tent at the very far edge of the camp, outside, away from the rest of the tents. And he would get up and go meet God there. In fact, that's what he called it. He called it the tent of meeting. And when people needed to inquire of the Lord, they themselves would go and they would meet with Moses there, and he would meet with God. When Moses would get up to go to this tent of meeting, everyone would stand, and they would stand at the edge of their tent and they would watch him walk out of the camp to this tent. And when he would enter the entrance of the tent of meeting, the cloud that was in the form of a pillar would come down and sit in front of the entrance as long as Moses was in there. And Exodus tells us that Moses talked to God as one talks to a friend, face to face. And when he would leave, people would go back to their work, but his aide Joshua would stay close to the tent, almost like he wanted more. And then you get to the next chapter, and Moses wants more. He turns and he says to God, he says, you say that you know me by name. You say that I've found favor with you. So, can you show me more? Can you promise that when you send us out of this place that you're going to go with us? God turns and he says, my presence will go with you. And Moses comes back again and he says, are you sure? Because we can't do this without you. And God says, I'm sure. I'll go with you. And then Moses does the bold thing. He's this guy who's meeting with God, talking to him like he talks to a friend, begging for more of him. And then he just turns and he says, well, God, if all that's true, then show me your glory. It's like it's not, he wants more. And God's like, okay. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to take you up to the mountain. And I'm going to put you in this cleft in the rock, and I'm going to cover you. And my presence is going to pass in front of you. And after I've passed, then I will move my hand and you'll see my back, but you can't see my face because you can't handle that. And so God does. And God says, I will declare my name before you and show you who I am. And after he passes in front of Moses, our God describes himself like this. The Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin. Our God, who could be anything, defines his nature and his character like this. He's a God who longs to shower his kids. This text became the text of Israel. When they thought about God, this is where they went. When they described the God that they serve, this is what they said. The compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger and abounding in love. This is who we pray to today. This is who we worship. This is the one who longs to bless us.